Hello, and welcome to a guided session. In this session, we are going to find ways to clear all your unconscious negativity, things that inhibit you from enjoying life fully, and things that have been built up over the years that has let you sabotage your life in certain manners. These are the negative feelings, emotions, and events that have been stored in your psyche. It is for this reason I would like you to create an environment in which you will not be disturbed for a lengthy period of time of at least 1 hour. During the duration of this guided meditation, I ask that you find all the resources that you need to pull all that you need to create a change and a transformative experience for yourself. For that reason, I ask you to make sure that no one disturbs you at that time, and that you turn off your cell phones or anything that might distract you from your meditation, to make sure that you are having the best of all resources available to you during this guided meditation. I ask you to lower the lights and find a position where you can sit comfortably for the duration of this guided meditation. It is often that I recommend my clients to sit in a seated position on the floor with a kind of a pillow or a support for their back. If you find this position to be uncomfortable, you can take a seat and make sure that your back and arms are well supported. If otherwise, you can sit on the floor with your legs crossed. Make sure you take a position where your back is straight and your head is upright. And make sure that you can extend your arms forward above your knees and touch your thumb and your forefinger on both hands so that you can create a position in which you can find your body in total control, because you will be directing energy within your body to create and find areas where you can find the healing source of energy circulating and clearing away all the emotional and distractive energies away from your body. You may feel a sense of relief, a sense of comfort, a sense of calm at the end of the session. And at times, I recommend my clients to continue resting after the session is over for your body and mind to recuperate from the transformative experience you're about to experience. So now, if you're ready, please take your position and we can begin. Now, I would like you to take your eyesight. Make sure you pick a point at the site that is parallel to your eyesight, a point in which you can easily focus and keep your gaze at that point. Make sure your hands are extended forward and your thumb and forefingers are touching. If you're in a seated position, you can also make sure that your legs are uncrossed and your forefingers are touching your thumb, and gaze at that point. And if you gaze and let your gaze relax, you'll see that you are focusing at a point, but everything else around it will become blurry. That's the first indication that your gaze is ever shifting. And it's shifting, it's knowing that your mind is searching, and thoughts may come in, thoughts may leave. That's the passage of life, passage of your mind's ever relentless desire to be occupied with a thought. Now we are going to do away with thoughts Allow your conscious flow of energy to merge with your unconscious processes so that you can bring about change that is lasting, change that is going to transform you in the most wonderful way. I would like you to trust yourself in this process, because there is no failure, only repetition and learning that comes from repetition, of knowing that practice makes perfect. So you know that each time you take your position to meditate and be guided through this session, you will be becoming better and better, rehearsed and ready to meet all those challenges that have been created in your mind, which inhibits you from performing your best, from enjoying life fully. Now, keeping your gaze, you may find yourself blinking at times. If not, just continue looking at that spot. Now, I would like you to also bring your attention to your breath while you gaze. Now, while you're gazing, and when you bring your attention to your breath, your conscious mind cannot do both things at the same time. It is your unconscious mind that must be engaged. So I would like you to continue gazing while you bring your attention to your breath now. Taking in your breath ever so slowly, making sure that your lungs are full and that your belly, where the energy of life circulates, is also filled with energy and air that comes from your inhalation. And let your body absorb that and hold it for a moment on the count of 3 and release slowly, controlling your energy and your breath, releasing. And when you are at the bottom of your breath, pause for a brief moment. Take your breath in slowly, till your lungs are full, your belly is full too, and then holding it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can now release slowly, easily, ever so slowly, making sure that you are releasing all the air from your lungs so that all the carbon dioxide and spent air leaves your lungs, and that you fill it with fresh air filled with oxygen that rejuvenates your muscles, your cells, your brain, so that you can keep your gaze. That's right. And when you look, you may feel the desire to close your eyes. If you do so, close now and continue concentrating on your breath, one at a time. Slowly taking your breath in, ever slowly, making sure that you reach the peak of your lungs capacity, and hold it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and release ever so slowly. Now you may find yourself that you are having a hard time controlling your breath. If you are having difficulties, that means you have not trained your breathing to bring your attention to the most vital part of your existence, which is breath, which is the source of inspiration, source of life. Because without air, no living being can survive. It is for this very reason that you have to keep breathing slowly, controllably, so that you can guide your mind to a fixed point to concentrate. And when you do so, make sure that your back is straight and your neck is holding upright position, and that if you feel tension on your shoulders, that you begin to release those tensions around your neck and muscles, and your legs, make sure they are comfortably positioned. And if you need to make final adjustments before we go even deeper into a state in which we can make change, do so now. Now, making sure that you're keeping your attention on your breathing, I would like you to bring your attention again to the inflow and outflow of air from your lungs, making sure that you are taking your breath in, holding it, and releasing it. You may find that breathing in from your nostrils helps to channel the energy that's surrounding you and the oxygen into your lungs, where it rejuvenates and nourishes your body's desire for oxygen. It is for this very reason that when we take walks in nature, that we find ourselves ever so tired, because we are exposed to oxygen, which stimulates our brain's ability to think and to experience life more fully. Till such time that you are trained, like training your muscles, I would like you to continue breathing ever so softly and delicately, making sure that your breathing is smooth, comforting, and making sure that you maintain the contact between your thumb and forefinger. While you do so, letting go of today's worries and events, because they will just fleet away, letting it all go, letting it all disappear. And if anything has bothered you, let that go as well, because you have better things to grab at. Your mind can grasp ideas, inspiration, when it lets go of the negativity. It is this kind of negativity that keeps us in a state of continuous happiness, a state in which we don't even realize that we are hurting ourselves emotionally and spiritually. It is when we let go we find ourselves at a balance, because we are bringing equilibrium, a sense of balance, to our system. It's this system where your body is in perfect harmony with your mind, which creates a harmony with your spirit. And when your spirit is in balance, means that you are functioning in life in a positive light. Over the years, the pains that you have suffered, emotional hurt that you have experienced, leaves imprints in your mind, and your unconscious mind that has recorded all this is finding ways to deal with it, and those emotional scars leave you feeling exhausted. Even though you may not feel it day to day, you react instead of proactively dealing with each new situation as something new, something that holds an opportunity for change, to become better as a person, as someone who knows that spirituality is one of the most wonderful things that one can do to nourish the soul. Because when you allow yourself the opportunity to concentrate on those things that you have experienced, you become at peace with those events, emotional scars that have left a mark. You can leave those past hurts behind and heal those parts of yourself that has held you captive in behaviors that have hurt you in the mind, in the spirit, perhaps even in your body. If you find yourself reacting to each relationship in the same manner that has left you with scars, you are self-sabotaging yourself. You have to realize that change comes when you heal from your past, and your hurt will no longer affect your relationships at the present time. The way you deal with yourself is also a relationship which you have. If you find yourself doing things that are hurtful, like overspending or being fixated on something that is not serving you, or you find yourself in a loop of repeating things ever endlessly, yet you are unhappy, that is the pattern that has left imprint in your unconscious mind. If you come home in the afternoon or in the evening and you find yourself doing the same things over and over again, and out sitting in front of a TV or a computer and passing the night so that it's time for you to go to sleep, and you repeat this process, it is perhaps the reason of your unhappiness. It's a way that you are comfortably unhappy in an uncomfortable situation because you are not facing your very best. You are just merely passing time. And if these behaviors have been going on for some time, isn't it time to have a look at them more closely? And if you feel that this is a disturbing topic, it is the very reason that you should be working on it. And if you find yourself looking at it and it's a picture that you are not happy with, then it is a reason that you are in the way that you are, because you are just repeating things that you have experienced in the past, and your unconscious mind that has developed ways to deal with situations, pain, with hurt, by repeating patterns where you escape from reality. You escape from the fact that there is a happier side of things that awaits on the other side. But it takes work that will allow you to become a better person. And in becoming a better person, you can shed light, happiness, and love all around you. And you may find that you have a new circle of friends that are like-minded, that give you happiness and receive happiness from you. If in your past you've been hurt by your partner or partners, you know that it's a learning curve for you to choose between the things that you do not want and the things that you want. And if you find yourself you are not completely satisfied in your current relationship, maybe you are settling. And if you are settling, then you are living less than your very best. And to create that fundamental change where you bring those energies that bring you a happier relationship, this is the work that must happen. This is the work that must be done prior for you to find a new level of intimacy, a new level of love, someone who shares the values that you share, who's in the same vibrational level as you are, so that you may grow spiritually, physically, and mentally together into a place where you are in harmony with one another, that you find this harmony as something that you feel fulfilled with, something that gives you joy, that when you wake up in the morning, you know that you are in peace with yourself, that you look forward to living your day, that each moment, each second is a moment to cherish rather than be wasted watching TV or looking at your computer or laptop screen. These are things that have been detrimental to the human race because they have moved away from things that are beneficial to ways in which one can escape reality. And this ends up for mankind, for woman and man in this century, to find ways to distract the mind, to go after things, objects and material things that create a way to escape or even sabotage on life. If you are looking to buy the next item and things that you're collecting, thinking that you need it, I would like you to stop and think for a moment. Do you really need it? Do you actually feel that you can do without it? Instead of buying it and putting it on your credit card or harming your financial state, can you do without it? Because there are a lot of people in this world that can live without having a lot of things, a simpler life, and yet they are so happy because they are not chasing after objects and material things. They are chasing happiness, and happiness finds, because as in the words of the Sufi master, what you are seeking is seeking you. So if you are seeking to run away from yourself, that's precisely what will happen. If you are seeking to find happiness, happiness shall find you. And perhaps in that search you are here listening to my voice as I guide you to a meditation session where you ponder on life's great mysteries and take an inward look on how you may become a better person. That's right. Sitting in that position, I would like you to make a little adjustment to make sure your body is aligned and your back is straight and your neck is comfortable and your head is upright. Yogi masters have known to sit in these positions for days, comfortably knowing that they are observing themselves and life around them, that when we are bombarded with life, it is at times best thing to do is to just sit there and sort out what you have experienced, what you have felt. And in your past, you have been hurt, perhaps, and those hurts are due to a lack of something. That's right. You were searching for something, and you were vulnerable. And in your vulnerability, you expose yourself to hurt and those emotional issues that emerge from it. And now I would like you to stop blaming whomever it is that has caused you to feel that way, because they were merely vehicles in helping to point out that you yourself could make change. And for in search of that change, they have pointed out the weakness in the link that has made you who you are. Take a moment to realize that you are the one who constructed your reality. You're the one who has allowed yourself to be vulnerable. And there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It allows us to be in love, to share, to give in order to receive. But when we have an issue that we need to resolve, so that we are not attached to things or in need of things, and that we become dependent on others. It is our life's journey that will lead us into relationships, into events that will point out that we don't need any of it, that we only need to find that we are always safe, that you yourself don't need anything or anyone but yourself. And when you're in peace and you're at peace with yourself, that you find that you're in a balance, an equilibrium where you can function at your best. And when you're not dependent on others to bring you happiness, you can bring happiness to others and receive happiness from others without having to need to cause others pain and hurt. And you may want to know that you yourself may have been the vessel in hurting someone else. And I would like you to forgive yourself and forgive that other person. And if you have not asked for their forgiveness, you can do so. You can do so today or at the earliest time and say, I'm sorry for what has happened. And that will release the bondage from your end and will perhaps bring a sense of relief to the other side, so that they are not holding on to their past, but they are releasing their past, and they are finding ways in which they can deal with life in their own terms by ever evolving into a higher states, into becoming a better person. If you have not turned and found ways to meditate, to ponder on life, then you have wasted precious moments in becoming a better person. And it's never too late. You can always find that you can return to the path of discovering and evolving, so that you yourself can become the light and the source of things that brings happiness into others' lives and into your own life as well. I would like you to think for a moment and realize that you have held emotional negativity, things that have caused you to self-sabotage yourself. Perhaps it was a relationship. It was perhaps something that you abused, or even your financial situation. These are things that stem from unhappiness and unbalance in this conscious process. And it's your unconscious trying to protect you that has found ways for you to deal with life and the past. And if you have not dealt with the past, you will only continue doing things the way it used to, because your unconscious mind only knows what it knows and is comfortable with providing you with things that you have asked for. If you have not healed yourself, you may find yourself escaping into a world where you are not dealing with things but merely passing time. And if you are one of those people, then don't you think it is time to make a change, to create a healing environment so that you can ponder on ways that may bring happiness to you Perhaps it is time for you to not watch TV or kill time by looking at your laptop screen, or oversleeping or overeating, whichever choice that you have made in the past that has caused you to deal with life in the most self-sabotaging way. It's time to end it. And you may find yourself in a void. You may find yourself empty when you remove and stop doing things that have become a pattern, a habit. And that in that uncomfortable state, I would like you to turn inwards and perhaps listen to this tape again and to find ways that you can evolve. Maybe it's time for you to start something new. Maybe daily practice of meditating or yoga, or find yourself doing something that will be beneficial to you, taking up a new hobby, or sharing something with others, or helping your community or your friends. Maybe it's time for you to personally grow even more by researching and reading in ways to clear your mental and emotional negativity, because your unconscious mind has only found ways for you to deal with your past, with your hurt and emotional luggage, so that you can survive in life. And if you find yourself unhappy, this is simply because you have not thought yourself to be happy. It is like looking at that glass, whether it's half full or half empty, is a state in which you observe life as happiness or unhappiness from your daily life. Now, I would like you to go even deeper and ask yourself this simple question: what can I do that will make me a happier person tomorrow? Because I really want to be happy. I want to do away with the emotional negativity. And now you can ask yourself, your unconscious mind, to bring out all the things that has caused you to be unhappy, and see it from a third person's point of view. Observe yourself in those situations. See what happens, hear what has happened, and relive the experience, observing it from the outside. See yourself reacting, see other person reacting. This is the reason that you have been scarred, and many events that have led you to this state is your reaction, which could have been different and it would have produced different results. Now you can see that for yourself. And if you're saying to yourself, I couldn't have reacted any other way, well, then you are just lying to yourself, because there could have been somebody else in that position who would have acted differently. In fact, some people may have found a way to resolve it, or some people might have found a better way to deal with it. You can't even think of someone who would have answered it differently, that would have led to a different result. Observe that. Know that the action could have been different. Now I would like you to think of things that you haven't said to that person that you would have wanted to say. Maybe it is the anger that they've held. Release it now. Say it as you would have wanted to say it. And let them hear it. Because if you hold it and you haven't said it, you're carrying luggage. Let it go. Say what you need to say. And if you're feeling that you are not able to release it, that means you have to repeat it until you are able to do so. And anything else you want to say to them. And when you are ready for a closure of that event, let it move away from you, that picture. Let it get smaller and blurrier and darker, and let it fade away into the darkness. And when it's gone and further away, you say to that, I have dealt with you, I've let go of you, and I'm at peace with you. And I'm at peace all the time because I'm at peace with myself. I'm in peace. I'm at peace with myself. This is your mantra. This is your mantra to make changes that are fundamental. Now you can bring another event and do the same process, seeing it, looking at it, noticing that you have been carrying weight because you are reacting to the past. And best thing about the past is that it's in the past, that it has happened and been done with. Yet carrying the luggage of emotional negativity, the unconscious processes that have caused more and more harm and damage to you, does not need to be there. You need to make your peace, say the things that you need to say, even if they don't hear it at the present time. The situation at that time requires to be said. It is the time for you to release it. And if you find yourself, as the events go before your eyes, you are still feeling anger, if you're still feeling frustration, or that you want to let go and cry, that is simply indication that you have held emotional negativity, unconscious processes that have just been stored there undealt. And that is the reason that you were unhappy. So you can let it go now, saying the things that you need to say, saying it clearly without holding back your words, so that you bring a closure to that event. That's right. As you do so, realize how relieved you are. And if for some reason you may feel a sensation within you at a certain point in your solar plex, maybe, where your heart chakra and your sacral chakra come into balance, because you are no longer hurting your solar plex chakra. Release now. And if you feel the pain has been there, release it now. Let it go away and away, so that's clear, and it's instead filled with white light, energy that fills and vibrates and rejuvenates you. And if you find yourself that you don't need to say anything more, that you don't need to speak anymore, then you say to yourself, I bring a closure to this event. I bring a closure to the emotional luggage that I've been carrying for over the years. I bring closure to my past that have caused me to feel unhappy and out of balance. I release now. I release now because I'm in peace. I am at peace with myself. And let it go, let it leave, and let it disappear into the horizon, to the darkness that it belongs to, because that is an issue dealt with, and it belongs in your past. In your present and your future will be filled with light, with new opportunities, because you have cleared your plate, that you have a new slate, new way to deal with life. And at times it may seem very fulfilling, may also feel a little awkward, a little strange, because you haven't felt this free. And let that settle in, because as you deal with these issues, you are more and more liberated. And liberation brings a sense of being in a state of falling, because you no longer attach to things and holding on to things, but you are simply free. And freedom is a state that is beautiful, yet at times it could be scary, because you find yourself that you're no longer dealing with things, that you're no longer repeating the patterns that you used to have, that you have actually transformed yourself into becoming someone who's happy and resourceful and joyful. That is the reason that you can turn inwards each time that you need to deal with an issue. And in this session, which is about an hour, is a session that is beautiful and liberating, but must be repeated often to clear with each issue that has left a scar from your past. So I invite you each evening or each morning to take the time to meditate and to listen to this recording, so that I can guide you to find those things that have left marks in your subconscious mind, that have left scars in your psyche and your emotional state, so that we deal with it and heal it one thing at a time, one event, one memory, one relationship, one thing at a time, so that you are free from each luggage that you carry in your unconscious state, that you release them one by one each and every day, dropping things, so that you are cutting those ropes, those chains that have tied you down, because you may find yourself in a very brief moment of time in a state where you are absolutely free to pursue new venues, new actions, new hobbies. Maybe it will be time to change your line of work. Maybe you want to move somewhere else, change your lifestyle, or start a new relationship, or find a new person or new group of people that you are interacting with. Because this is a transformative experience. Those people who used to suck your energy dry will leave you, because you're no longer feeding to their vampirial desires, their desires to take from you instead of returning. When you release those patterns, you find yourself, you don't need their friendship or their relationship with you anymore. That's a very liberating feeling. And when the time comes, you can simply say to them, well, it has been a good journey. You have thought things about myself to myself. And now I will have to let you go. And oftentimes you'll find that they drift them away by themselves because they will see this energy shift in you, that you have become a more resourceful person that does not need them anymore. Because emotional scars leave emotional dependency. Things that have left people trapped for years, repeating things and patterns, stuck in jobs they're not happy with, or relationships they don't feel completely fulfilled. They just stay in them because they carry the luggage of emotional negativity, psychic weight, things that have just weighed them down and tied them to circumstances which they feel helpless, they cannot change, or think that they don't have a choice. Well, I'm here to tell you that you always have a choice. You always have the resources at your disposal to make fundamental change within you so that you can find ways to find new levels of emotional growth, new levels of spiritual growth. And this means a new you, someone who's happier, more fulfilled, someone who is not a taker but a giver to life, because givers receive, and when they receive, they can return the gift to others, so the cycle is complete. But takers, they never give up, and when they don't give, they become stifled. They become the vampires of emotional and spiritual energy. They make others dependent. They live on the emotional and mental weaknesses of others. If you have someone like this in your life, isn't it about time you explore how you may end this abusive relationship? I invite you to see things so that you can make decisions that are beneficial to you. If you're unhappy about something, isn't it time you make a change for the better? You always had a choice. You always had a choice, and you still do. It's a matter of dealing with things. But before you act, before you do something, take the time to make sure that you have made the changes within you, that you dealt with every single issue that has landed you into that state of bondage, of dependency, and release them before you release that person. Because releasing is the first step into freedom. Freedom comes not only because we have relieved ourselves of pain, but we also have relieved ourselves of our past that keeps on making us repeat patterns. Because if you make a change now, and it is there for a bit of time, but you have not made changes, clearing the subconscious negativity, emotional negativity, spiritual negativity, then you will find yourself repeating patterns. That is one thing you need to end first. Meditate, find ways so that you put a mirror to yourself and see your own scars, and see the scars that you have and admire them because it has made you who you are. If you suffered in your past relationships, look at the scars you have from that. It has formed you. It made you a wiser person. It has also made you who you are today. So be thankful because you have grown and you have changed. Now you're in the frontiers of a new territory where transformation can take change into a new level. Because change merely means something simple. Transformation means something totally new, something totally different. Transforming yourself is the most beautiful thing you can do because you have opened doors to new opportunities, to have more happiness, more joy, more fulfilling life. Because your days on this planet are numbered. And why waste a moment? Why waste a second being unhappy when you know that you have at your disposal all the resources you need to make your life a very happy one? And it's not dependent on financial things, nor is it dependent on others. It only is dependent on you. There are a lot of people who are less fortunate than you are, living around the world, yet they are happy because they are not attached to their environment. They're not attached to things the way you are attached to them. So if you let them go, you can be free. Find yourself happy. And you can also look deeply within and realize that those people you have around you are people you have gathered at this time in your life to help you through your journey. Because the friends you had when you were 5 years old, 10 years old, or when you went into your 20s have all changed. Most of them have drifted away because you are on a different journey than they are. And they too have had new friends, new relationships, because they too are growing in their own direction. And over the years, as times have moved, your friends have changed, your circumstances have changed, even the things that you use on a daily basis have changed. And one thing in life is certain, that change will always happen. And it's your job, your duty to yourself, to make sure that when you bring change into your life, that it's a conscious choice, a choice which you made yourself, because you know that is the way life can only improve, to be conscious of things that are happening so that you can make changes where you feel yourself unhappy with. And all changes must happen in the unconscious level, because that's where everything else is stored. That's from where the patterns emerge, the habits are repeated. Your unconscious mind, which is the master of habits, will continue repeating things. And if you tell it to bring you happiness, that it will do so because it knows how to do so. that has all the right resources to let you do all the things that you do in life. The unconsciousness that now rules in your body and your mind is the one that knows how to regulate your heartbeat, control your blood pressure, and keep your body's temperature steady, and let you know when you're hungry or when you're tired or when you're happy. At times, you are just simply merely reacting to what has been told to you. But you yourself can map out a new destiny and let your unconscious mind know that your changes are coming, that you want to transform things about you that can bring a happier, more fulfilled version of you. So why not begin now? But you have already began by simply listening to this recording. And if you feel at any time that you would like to attend one of our workshops where we gather together in group and meditate and ponder on life and ask to receive and receive to give solutions, then you are on the right journey. You can sign up by simply visiting our website, or you can even call us to set up a private appointment simply by visiting our website, so that you can find all the resources you need, and you can read up, research, and know that you have just found new resources to make fundamental transformative changes. And if you listen to our other recordings, whichever issue that you are dealing with, we provide them free of charge so that you can grow personally as someone who's more wonderful, who's someone who's special, who's about to bring beautiful things to life and share it with others. That's why we do the things we do, because we believe that when you give, you receive, and you receive, your life is more than what was before. It's richer, more happy, more joyful. And if you feel you like to take part in this process, you can simply visit our website and make a small donation so we can produce more recordings, more wonderful workshops and things that we give. And this is not simply a process that is repeated once or twice. We repeat this process every day because we believe that you can be a better you tomorrow, and you can contribute with your time, with your contribution of letting others know that there's a better day tomorrow, better them, so that they may listen to this recording and clear out the negativity, clear out all the emotional luggage, all the things that have caused them to be trapped. Set someone else free as you set yourself free. And if it's in their path that they are ready to make change, they too will make the change. But you are the light, you're the guide, because you have done your duty by pointing out a choice they can make now. And when you are a giver, you're also a receiver of gifts. So make someone happy, but before all, make yourself happy by removing the obstacles that lay in your path to a happier you, to a happier state of things. And all that begins here, this moment, as you meditate and keep your back straight and your head straight, and you concentrate ever so deeply to the things that you hear now, the things that sound and vibrate within you is true, because this is a journey, and we all have been there. We all have been hurt. We all have had emotional scars. But some of us have dealt with it, have healed it, so it becomes beautiful. It's like a desert that begins to wear beautiful flowers. It's the arid land that is nourishes from the beautiful, joyful rain. It's the change that you can make every day simply by meditating on the ecstasy of life's beauty, absorbing and noticing little things, and that you become happier, more appreciative, filled with gratitude. And when you are filled with gratitude, you want to give gifts to others. Let them see the happier you. That's why great leaders, spiritual leaders, have always shed light to others' worlds so that they are illuminated and they too illuminate others' lives. It's a journey of sharing. It's a journey that lets you find that you have all the resources you always had. Sometimes you may not have known where to look, but you have looked, you have seen. Now, we are going to bring this session to a closure so that you can rest. Take a bit of time for yourself before returning to your daily life. Or if you are listening to this recording in the evening, that you may simply choose to go to rest and sleep and get a full day's rest and night's rest, so that you may emerge the very next day happy and more content, and see the transformations that have taken place as it's done so. You may notice it in little things you do every day. I invite you to do that. Now, I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to your thumb and forefinger. If at any time they have lost contact, bring the contact in now. Notice your body position. Notice your neck. Notice the way it feels. Bring your attention to your forehead and the point between your eyebrows and concentrate there and see. Imagine yourself looking at it. If you feel kind of an energy there, kind of a feeling, then you know your third eye is opening, that you are seeing things more clearly. And if you don't feel it, that's all right too, because it's a process that takes time. And bring your attention back to your breathing once again, taking a deep breath in slowly, holding it for a count of 3, and then releasing. And when you're ready, you do that one more time. That's right. And the third time. when you're ready. Now, in the Asian Hindu tradition, the word respect, gratitude, is the word namaste. And I'll say to you, namaste. Thank you for listening. And peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.